Colorado City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner, where passion is the key, learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner. Philippines, hello Region 1, aloha sa Carolinian learners, airing live from the Blue capital of the Philippines, San Carlos City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner, where passion is the key, learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner. Philippines, hello Region 1, aloha sa Carolinian learners, airing live from the Blue capital of the Philippines, San Carlos City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner, where passion is the key, learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SPO learner.
Good day, learners! Welcome to another fun day of learning. We're live here at Carlos and Carlene Network. My name is Danica and I am your science teacher. Today we'll be exploring another topic from your quarter 3 modules in Science 9. So please get ready with your pen and paper. And now that we're all set, let's get this started. But first, we should all be guided by the most learning essential competency. Show which constellations may be observed at different times of the year, and specifically, describe the effect of the Earth's revolution to the different constellations we see at night. Show which constellations may be observed at different times of the year, and explore how constellations are useful to people. So to begin with is a short drill or recap of the step-by-step process of volcanic eruptions. All you need to do, learners, is to supply the missing word or phrase to complete the step-by-step process. I'll be giving you a minute to finish the activity. And time starts now. And the time is up. So learners, let's all answer and complete the activity. Step-by-step process of volcanic eruption. Volcanic activities include the melting of solid rocks in the mantle, which became thick molten materials called magma. The magma moves upward and accumulated in an area called magma chamber. High temperature and pressure push magma through the openings like sun fractures. The magma then oozes out to form a lava. Good job, learners, for completing the step-by-step process of volcanic eruption. With that, we can now start with our new topic about constellations. Again, class, this is on Science 9 Quarter 3, Module 4. So, to start the mood of our discussion about constellation, I have another activity for you. This game is called Fact or Bluff. The instruction is very simple. You just have to identify if the given statement on the screen is a fact or a bluff. So are you ready? Alright, let's get started. Statement number 1. The group of stars in the sky that appear as patterns of figures are called constellations. Learners, is statement number 1 a fact or a bluff? The answer is, it's a fact. We're exactly right. Statement number 2. We see different constellations at different times of the year because the night sky is rotating. Learners, is this a fact or a bluff? And the answer is, it's a bluff. That's correct. Statement number 3. Circumpolar constellations are the constellations observed throughout the year. Is this a fact or a bluff? And the answer is, it's a fact. Good job. Statement number 4, there are 90 constellations. Learners, is this a fact or a bluff? Statement number 4 is a bluff. Correct. Statement number 5. Constellations that crosses the ecliptic or the apparent path of the sun as the Earth revolves around it are called Zodiac Constellations. Is the statement number 5 a fact or a bluff? And the answer is, it's a fact. Good job. Statement number 6. Zodiac constellations are represented by animals. Learners, is this a fact or a bluff? And the answer is, it's a fact. That's precisely. And statement number 7. Constellations are useful in telling the seasons, direction, and even birth signs of people. Is this a fact or a bluff? And the answer is, it's a fact. Good job, learners. I hope that you enjoyed that activity. With that, we can now proceed discussing the concept made for the fact or bluff activity. So, what is a constellation? Take a look at the two sides. So, a constellation is a group of stars that form a pattern in the sky. It's from the two Latin words cum, that means together with, and stella, which means star. Therefore, when we say constellation, it means together with star. And we see different constellations at different times of the year and at different locations. We have a total of 88 constellations. 52 of them can be observed on the northern hemisphere, which is the upper part of Earth, and 36 could be found or be observed on the southern hemisphere. But the question is, why do we see different constellations at different times of the year? Or rather, how does the movement of Earth on its orbit affect the constellation that you see? Take a look at the picture. Earth has two motions, rotation and revolution. Earth's rotation is responsible for the cycle of night and day, while revolution is responsible for the changing of seasons in certain places. These also affects the constellations that you see in the night sky. Look at this picture. In astronomy, people on Earth observe the heavenly bodies in an imaginary sphere called the celestial sphere. Celestial sphere is concentric to Earth, where the sun, moon, stars, and planets are projected on the inner wall of the sphere. So as you can see on the picture, it shows the inner red circle, which is the Earth's orbit, and the constellations are shown as projected images within the celestial sphere. So if we're going to take a look at the video or the picture clearly, it's the model that shows how the Earth revolves and shows how constellations can be seen differently at different times of the year. And I'll be showing you shortly those constellations that can be observed at different times of the year. But before we proceed on that, let's first take a look at what we call the special constellations or the circumpolar constellation. But what makes them special? What makes them special is that these circumpolar constellations can be observed throughout the year. They never set below the horizon because they are closer to the celestial poles, which are 2 points, north and south, where Earth's axis of rotation intersects. And since the Philippines is located near the northern hemisphere, I'll be showing you the northern circumpolar constellations. Later at night, if you have time, you might want to check the night sky and see if you can locate this constellation. So the first one is the Ursa Miner. This constellation name means the small bear. This is what it looks like. You can see there the Ursa Miner, and it has the Polaris or the northern star. Next one is Cassiopeia. This constellation is named after the Greek goddess Cassiopeia. As you can see, it forms a W pattern. Next one is Cepheus. Cepheus is named after the king of Ethiopia, husband of Cassiopeia. So this is the Cepheus constellation. Of course, we have Draco, the constellation that means dragon. And this is what Draco looks like. So those are the, we have also Ursa Major. If you have small bear, you also have a great bear. So this is included as well as constellation considered as a northern circumpolar constellations. So those are the list of northern circumpolar constellations that can be observed and seen all throughout the year in the Philippines. And of course, we have what we call the Zodiac Constellation. How is it different to circumpolar constellations? Well, if you're familiar with horoscope signs or zodiac signs, those are based on zodiac constellations. They process the ecliptic or the apparent path of the sun as the earth revolves around it. And they are mainly composed of animals, which is why ancient Greeks called it zodiacal cycles, which translate to circle of animals. And how many zodiac constellations do we have? We have a total of 13 constellations. Yes, we do have 12 months in a year, so that means 12 zodiac constellations. But recently, the International Astronomical Union named the 13th zodiac constellation, which is Ophiuchus. So we have 13 in total. Alright, now that you have learned the concept of circumpolar constellations and zodiac constellation, let's go ahead and let me tour to the different constellations we see at different times of the year. Starting off from the month of December to February. There you go. We have the Canis Major constellations, or means the Great Dog. Remember, class, that the constellations are named after the image that they form, and mostly of them are from animals or Greek mythology stories. So it's the Canis Major. It holds the Sirius star. Sirius star is the brightest star in the night sky. Next one is the Satus or the whale. There you go. Still, from month of December up until to February, Gemini or the twins. That's what the constellation looks like. Eridanus or the river. Still, the month of December to February, we have the Taurus or the bull. The Taurus is considered as one of the 13 zodiac constellations. And of course, we have Orion, the great hunter, one of the famous constellations or major constellations that we have. It holds the two of the brightest star. We have the Rigel and Betelgeuse. Also, the Orion's belt, which holds the three main stars, which is the Zeta, Epsilon, and so that's Orion and Taurus. Alright, let's move on to March to June. So from month of March to June, we have, first one is the Cancer or the Crab. This is actually the faintest of the group, so it's not very easy to spot in the night sky. And also belongs to the 13 zodiac constellations. Next one is the Leo or the Lion. Also belongs to the 13 zodiac constellations. Of course, the Virgo or the Virgin also belongs to the 13 zodiac constellation, and Hydra, the water snake. Now we have the month of June to September. First in line is the Cygnus or the Swan. That's a very beautiful constellation. Next one is the Hercules or the Roman hero. Hercules is actually associated to the constellation Draco because according to a story, Hercules is trying to slay the dragon. Alright, in June to September, still we have Libra or the Scales. This is still one of the 13 zodiac constellations. Sagittarius, of course, or the centaur holding a bow and arrow. September to December, we have Aquarius or the water bearer or the cup bearer. This also belongs to the 13 zodiac constellations. And of course, we have Pisces or the fish. Also belongs to the 13th zodiac constellations. And we have the Aries or the ram. and Capricornus or the Goat. Both belongs as well to the 13th Zodiac Constellations. Alright, so let's now test your understanding of our discussion for today. In this activity, Match Me, all you need to do is to group the constellation according to the time of the year that they can be best viewed in the sky. So as you can see on the right side of the screen, you see there the groups of constellation. You just have to group them according to the times of the year they appear. So in this activity, I'll be giving you a minute to complete the activity. So time starts now. And the time is up. So learners, let's all answer this Match Me activity. So from December to February, these are the group of constellations that can be best viewed in the skies. First one is the Canis Major, Cetus, Gemini, and Orion. From March to June, we have Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. From June to September, we have Cygnus and Libra. And September to December, we have Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. Good job, learners! Now, I have another activity for you, but this time we'll be exploring how useful are constellations to people. So, learners, your task is to read and analyze the given situation, and you need to answer that in a minute. So this is to explore how constellations are useful to people. Time starts now. The time is up. So let's read the situation. A boatman is heading towards north. Along his way, he deeply fall asleep. All of a sudden, he woke up only to find out that he's in the middle of the sea. As he looks up, he could see different patterns of stars. So learners, to help the boatman, which constellation should he look for to direct him to north? And our answer is, the boatman should look after the small Dipper where Polaris is found to direct him to north. Therefore, we have to look for the small bear or the Ursa Miner. So, how are constellations useful to people? Constellations are useful because they can help people to recognize stars in the sky. By looking for patterns, the stars and locations can be much easier to see. To remember the patterns, the ancient people became creative by giving these patterns names accompanied by certain stories. The constellations were used in ancient times as well. We used the stars as calendar to mark certain events. This was very important so that people knew when to clear land, plant, and harvest crops. Constellations was also used for navigation. So constellations are therefore very useful to our everyday life. Alright, now let's proceed to the assessment part. This time we'll be assessing your understanding of the discussion for today. So you have to choose the letter of the correct answer and you will write it on your papers. Let's start with question number 1. What do you call the constellations that can be seen or observed the whole year? Is it A, Zodiac Constellation, Ordinary Constellation, C, Apparent Constellation, or Circumpolar Constellation? And the answer is letter D, Circumpolar Constellations. Good job. Question number 2. Why do you see different constellations at different times of the year? The answer is letter A, because the Earth is rotating. That's right. Question number 3. What do you call the apparent path the Sun takes throughout the year? The answer is ecliptic, precisely. And question number 4. What do you call a group of constellation that is represented by animals? The answer to question number 4 is letter B, Zodiac Constellations. Good job. And last question, question number 5. It is called as the Dragon Constellation. The answer now is it's Draco Constellations. Good job, learners. And here we go. We're almost done with our discussion for today, but let me just remind you of your assignment. So this is a pamphlet making. The procedure is very simple. You'll just create a pamphlet that showcases the current season's viewable constellations. Include the pictures or illustrations of the constellations based on how they appear in the night sky, where to find them, as well as their description or background information. So the rubrics for the pamphlet making is also on your module 4, so you might want to check that. And of course, this should be submitted on our next meeting. And there you go. Thank you, learners, for listening to our episode for today. Again, this is Ma'am Danica, and everyone should have a good day. See you on next meeting. Bye-bye.
Philippines, hello Region 1, aloha sa Caribbean learners, airing live from the blue capital of the Philippines, Constellation City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner, where passion is the key, learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner.